Hello and welcome back to the Magenchi Dojo. Students, today's lesson will focus on the basic formats of the game and choosing a format and a little bit about the difference between them. There are many different formats as you can find on the FAB TCG website under gameplay and formats, but we're just going to focus on the basic ones today. So the important ones here that we're going to talk about are Classic Constructed, Silver Age, and another format called Blitz. We will start with talking about Classic Constructed. So Classic Constructed is kind of the premier format of the game. It is the format you will see most often being run locally at your nearest armory or at massive, large convention sized events. It's kind of just give or take the main format of the game. Um, this is an uh, this format is of note by that they have a um, what we call adult heroes. These are heroes that have higher life totals. You also have a 60 card deck, um, up to 3 copies of each card, and longer rounds to play the game. Like I said, this is the format that you'll see the most often. Um, so it probably also makes it the easiest format to get into. The next format that we'll look at is Blitz. So Blitz is a format that is unfortunately being kind of phased out a little bit in the game, but I think it's still important to talk about. So Blitz is a little bit simpler than Classic Constructed. You use a what's called a young hero. These heroes generally have about 20 life, with some of them having an adjustment, give or take, to try to help with balancing. In this format, you have a 40 card deck, um, those young heroes, and you can only have up to 2 copies of each card. But we will talk about deck building itself different uh, in a different video. Like I said, the main difference is that these games tend to go faster than Classic Constructed. They tend to be um, a little bit less forgiving if you make a mistake due to that less life total, but it can be a lot of fun. There's also a lot more. There's a few different heroes that only exist in this format that don't exist in the other constructed formats. Um, that kind of leaves us to, as I mentioned before, they're kind of phasing Blitz out, but they quickly came up with a replacement, so to speak, for it, and that format is called Silver Age. So Silver Age, very similar to Blitz, same deck building restrictions, 40 card deck, young hero. The difference here is that this format is only commons and rares for cards are allowed. So you can't use the Majestics, the Legendaries, or the Fables, the what tends to be the more expensive, more powerful cards. As a result, that makes this format really great for newer players in the fact that it doesn't cost as much to have a fully kitted out deck with as much of the fancy stuff as you can get a hold of. This format is brand new. It is just starting to get events at this time, but look for it coming soon. Hopefully, we start to see more in this format and we start to see more from LSS in terms of what they plan to do with it. There is some upcoming sets for that will focus on this set a little bit more, or on this format a little bit more, and I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. So yeah, those are kind of the three main what we call constructed formats. Those are the formats of the game that revolve around deck building and just and building a deck and making sure things are um, kind of just tailoring the deck to what you want. Of course, there are other ways to play the game as well, but we will focus on them in a much later video. But I'll mention them quickly here as well. So like I said, constructed formats are the formats where you are building the decks yourself or buying a pre-constructed deck and modifying it to what you want. You also have limited formats, which are where you get product for the event. You open packs and build a deck from there. There are three main ones of that as well: sealed deck, booster draft, and crack shuffle play. And there are tons of other formats to explore called specialty formats. So once again, just if you have some interest, go to the FAB TCG website, go under the play section and find the format section. You can take some time, read about each format, but it's important to have an understanding for the differences between each. Give them a try, see what you enjoy, and be on the lookout for more fun things to come. Tune into our next video where we will talk a little bit more uh, about getting your first deck and figuring out where to go from there. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've learned something, and we'll see you in the next video.